Hello, hello, and welcome back as I get ready to see if Bartholomew Quint has what it takes to finally haul in his catch down in the cruel cove of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. And I didn't even think about this when I started this run, but Bartholomew Quint out hunting dangerous fishmen? Little too appropriate, isn't it, Pete? Little too on the nose? Shouldn't Pete be back at the manor telling people to stay off the beaches? Or, you know, calling Brody a lily-livered, land-lubbing piece of shit while he worked on his Captain Ahab impression? That's probably what he should be doing. So, yeah, I think it's pretty evident that I didn't think about sending Bartholomew Quint out to fight fishmen. Otherwise, you know, I wouldn't have done that. If I had been thinking about it, I wouldn't have sent Quint. I would have sent literally anybody else out to deal with a threat from the sea. Sending Bartholomew Quint down here is like sending Vin Diesel and Paul Walker out to police America's highways against rampant speeding and other traffic violations. It's just, you know what? It's not going to work. Those guys, they're not going to enforce the speed limit. They're too fast. They're too furious. It's too late now, though. What's done is done. The chum's already in the water. The sharks are circling the boat. There's nothing really we can do now but fling some scuba gear into the water and hope that the fishmen here in the cove are foolish enough to swallow said scuba gear so that later when I pull out my 30-06 and get to work, we'll be good. We're only going to maintain our torchlight here, I think, just enough to keep us out of potential Shambler town. Like, I don't want to fight the Shambler. Okay, so it's full dark there. But we know we've got no hallway fights. We have nothing. We're clear all the way to the end here. We're ready to go. And while we're in diminished light, hey, opportunities do exist for increased loot. Diminished light means magnified loot. This is a rule with Darkest Dungeon. We're not worried about hallway fights. We're not worried about room fights. What we're worried about, well, I mean hunger, because it's ever present, ever gnawing. Hunger is a difficult master, but if we can get any curio interactions, like, say, this one. Alright, well, I mean, I was hopeful we would find something maybe a little more profitable than a torch. We were just looking for some curio interactions on our way to the end of the road, like a Boys to Men song. So I've come to the end of the cove. And I think we're just going to camp here. I know we're camping a little early and that our stress really isn't out of control. Doesn't necessarily warrant a camp. In fact, it really doesn't warrant camping at all. Our stress is completely under control. But we did have some debuffs and some buffs that I'd like to either get rid of or maintain. Unshakable leader. Nope. Wow, you have terrible camping abilities. Please tell me somebody has something that prevents nighttime ambush. Chant. Nope. How about you? Revel, which definitely doesn't prevent nighttime ambush. Minus speed, minus accuracy, minus stress. Huh, Revel is an interesting skill. There's a reason I never use it, because it's straight up garbage. So you get bonuses, but only if you're in the front line. Wow, every single one of these abilities is terrible. We could nuke our torchlight, which is fine, because we don't really have any anyway. And plus 15 stress on one companion heals 50% and removes their mortality debuffs. I'd rather not. We could abandon hope. Wow, we have like one useful camping ability. Boy, I'm really glad I camped. This is going to prove to be hugely useful. Well, let's give you some accuracy and dodge. Do we have literally anything else that's good? We could remove mortality debuff. Honestly, probably just unshakable leader, I guess, is our best bet. Is there anything else that's even useful? Some stress removal. Does anybody have stress? You have 16. Well, here, you're not religious. So this will get rid of 5 stress, and yeah, that's not worthwhile. We'd be better off to just encourage you and get rid of all your stress, and then have you encourage this man, and suddenly everybody is stress-free, and I guess we'll just use the rest of the time for a few pep talks. We're probably going to get a nighttime ambush here. Other reason I chose to camp now, in addition to getting rid of some of those debuffs we had, I'm also interested in freeing up some inventory space, because our goal for this mission, other than, you know, killing time, our true goal here, cash. We need money. Cash money. Same reason Quint got on that boat with Brody and whatever the hell Richard Dreyfuss's name. Why can't I remember? I don't remember what Richard Dreyfuss's name was in that movie. Wait, was Richard Dreyfuss Brody?
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be
Maybe he was Brody. In which case, if he was Brody... You know what? I really need to go watch Jaws again. The Blackest of Fates. I don't care. The Blackest of Fates live on my floor. Right next to the crusted socks that I've done unspeakable things to. That's not true. That's just me engaging in hyperbole for the sake of humor. I actually don't typically masturbate into socks. One, they're way, like, softer and more comfortable things, you know, for instance, like a tissue. And two, if you did do that into a sock, well, first off, why? And second off, why would you just throw it on the floor afterwards? I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand that at all. Are you in such a hurry that you can't go get some proper tools and, you know, perform the act in a hygienic fashion? What the hell is wrong with you is the better question. Shovel. I can never remember what works on coral. Is it bandages? Nope. Why do I always think it's holy water and it's never holy water? It's not medicinal herbs, I know for a fact. Is it? It's anti-venom. You know what? You're a coral? Fuck it. I'm just going to touch it. Coral is soothing to the mind. Oh, it was stress relief coral. Yeah, it's like a bonsai tree except underwater. Stress relief coral? Well, I mean, we found it. It didn't really do us any good because we didn't have any stress to relieve, per se. Bandits in the cove, huh? Surprised bandits at that. Yeah, you know why these bandits are surprised? They're surprised that they're in the cove. Their question is, what the hell am I doing in the cove? Why am I here? How did I get here? I don't belong here. This is not a place I should be. What's going on? Who are you? Why are you touching me? With the bleed, that is a kill. So we did manage to score ourselves precisely one bandit. 21 damage from our boy. Blanket fire's fine. We can undo that with an AoE heal. We also really need to restore our party order. The beautiful AoE dodge, and the other guy drops dead before he gets a chance to do anything. So far, so good. Here comes another blanket fire. Critical's a little unfortunate, but 10, 20, rather, stress is not really the end of the world. A little bit of a wicked hack. This guy's protection status is low, so going for just straight damage is the better option. We're also going to hit him with the damage debuff. He does have, punishment is a single target attack that can do a lot. Instead, wow, we took a 5 damage critical and took 8 trillion stress from the 5 damage. That's wholly unfortunate. Did get most of that back. Quint can't quite close the deal, mostly because of the stress penalty that he has. We're actually going to adrenaline rush here. Let's get rid of that penalty. Pete, you could have killed the bandit before he had a chance to go. I still think we got a reasonable chance to kill him before he gets a shot at going, because these guys are relatively slow. We just got to find a way to do 3 damage. Bartholomew Quint really doesn't have a way, so let's just pile on another debuff. He got close, man. He was 1 damage short. Nell's here to pick up the slack, though. What are you going to do now? Rust shot, champ? Because that's the only attack you got left. Oh, you ain't even going to do that because now you're dead. Quint hacked your head off. Okay, first off, speaking of maintaining facing, Wayne June, I appreciate it. That's just fucking good advice. Let's put our party back in the proper order and also see what's in this chest. I really want to find a secret room, though, guys. If you could find it in your hearts to find the secret room, I would be forever grateful. I'd also be forever your girl, like a Paula Abdul song. I'm just, just putting that out there. I would rather have this emerald than that holy water, even though I know we can use holy water down here to potentially eliminate a negative quirk. I need cash, man. It's all about the gold. We need ducats. We need filthy lucre. This team can't disarm a trap to save their life. I mean, specifically, they can't disarm a trap to save their life. That's the purpose of disarming a trap. That's, okay, more stress than I'm fully comfortable with. Disarming a trap to save their life, though. That's why we try to disarm them rather than just walk face first into them or deliberately set them off. We basically got no benefit from the fact that we scouted this hallway at all. Other than that, we had a chance to find... Come on, secret room, Mando. Secret room. Come on, baby. Give me the secret room. You guys suck. I'm very angry at all of you. Just putting that out there. We really needed the secret room, and you did not find it. And there's no reason to not pile the stress on one unit. This just makes it easier for us to focus our stress heals. That's all we're doing. We can focus the healing this way. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and continue adventuring. Pete, you're going to go deliberately pick another fight? Yes, because I want to try and focus the stress healing. And also, I want an additional chance for a curio interaction here. Keep our radiant. Battle Thrall got to die, though. So, what's the best method for dealing with this shit? I think stab to the face. Then lightning bolt to the shaman. We have up to 2 turns to deal with the thrall, but I'm pretty confident that Quint could get the job done, and he did, and it's beautiful. And in the meantime, I really thought you would get that taken care of. Really did. I didn't expect you to let me down. And then what did you do? You went and let me down. Seaward Slash, I don't care about. It's just damage. Call of the Deep's a little more dangerous because that's a huge buff. This guy gets catastrophic damage out of that, but we can undo it. You want to get a damage buff? I'll hit you with the damage debuff. Now you're back to worse than where you started from. And you gotta die. No more stress attacks. Our goal here is to just keep Quint, and you're gonna do this. Our goal here is to just keep Quint from having to do anything other than stress relief.
As the light gains purchase.
This guy already can't hit for shit. He's debuffed to junk, and we're gonna keep him debuffed to junk. He's got minus 74% damage hitting our highest protection unit. I'm totally cool with that. We can always go for the AoE heal. More chances to critical means more stress relief, or the potential thereof. Speaking of stress relief, we're going to take 10 more. Just keep that damage buff up, girl. In fact, stack it. Little Seaward Slash. Not dodged, but only 7 damage. Eventually, Gatsby will slowly kill this man. Pete, you're running the risk of taking a Terry penalty. Yeah, you're not wrong. We are technically running the risk of taking a Terry penalty here. But if we have to get a little bit of aggregate stress across the group to get more targeted stress heals, I'm shockingly okay with that. This is the last round we're going to do this. Yeah. Okay, fine. You're right. I got the Terry penalty. They could potentially get some reinforcements as well. How's that 4 damage Seaward Slash treating you, though, champ? Not good, I'm going to guess. Not good. So, AoE heal. We want our speed rolls to go in exactly the same order. Come on, that's my boy Quint! And now we're going to hack your head off because we have an unbelievable, yeah, plus 52% damage. So you're dead then. 24 damage was enough for a one-shot kill.
Trifling victory. But a victory.
Why my victories always got to be trifling, Wayne June? Why are you always telling me I'm a trifling son of a bitch? What did I ever do to you, Wayne? What did I ever do to you? Why do you hate me so much? Never did anything to you, man. I'm just a dude out here trying to enjoy myself. You got to call me a trifling bastard all the time. So, torchlight goes out. Let's... We touched the secrets and wonders. Yeah, well, we're going to loot exactly one thing, Wayne. Take the gold, and then we're going to leave, because I'm not risking moving a single fucking millimeter from this spot, lest I run into a shambler. No shambles today. Not going to Shambletown. No, thank you. How'd we do on gold? Overall, better than I would have expected. We picked up 16 grand. Not so much on heirlooms, but we also don't so much care about heirlooms, really. Nell is a clotter. Picked up a tapeworm. Jay Gatsby is soft. Well, can you call Jay Gatsby soft? I mean, he seemed like he lived a life in a lap of luxury, and he did definitely have a soft spot for Daisy. I think that's apparent. Daisy Buchanan, but who wouldn't have a soft spot for Daisy Buchanan? What's not to love? I don't think we can hold that against him. He may have lived a softish lifestyle, but you know what? Jay Gatsby, behind it all, he was hardcore. He was a bootlegger, man. Guy was a mobster. He was all rolled up with organized crime and willing to do whatever it took to win back the love of his life. Jay Gatsby was not soft, Darkest Dungeon. Jay Gatsby was hard. Homeboy grew up on the tough streets of whatever town he grew up on before he moved to West Egg. I couldn't say he grew up on the hard streets of West Egg because that's a sentence that's just ridiculous to even utter. Grew up on the mean streets of West Egg out on Long Island. I've seen some shit, man, some shit. Like one time, I went to this party, an afternoon sandwich party after I RSVP'd, when the butler answered the door, didn't even have a towel over his arm, and the watercress sandwiches were soft and mushy, like they'd been sitting out for 20 minutes or so. You'd know, just, it was the darkest day, man, darkest day. That would be a Jay Gatsby growing up on the street. Also got fangophobia, which really to me always seems like it should be a fear of fingers. In fact, it's bonus stress in high torchlight, which is actually catastrophically bad. And a little bit of case of the spotted fever. Spotted fever I don't really give a shit about. It gives us a slight penalty to blight resistance, but blights are really relatively rare in the game. Apart from bosses, almost no monsters actually use blight. Shane underwent effective disease treatment, cured the Og. Well, I mean, okay, I was hoping we could get rid of the Og and the rabies, but if you had to keep one of those diseases, I think rabies was the right choice. Speaking of rabies, Rita Morgan got rid of hers, and Caitlin Stark has undergone the cure for the Red Plague, which is fantastic because I want to get into Layer 2 of the dungeon. We got to get back to the Darkest Dungeon, man. My team of choice for that dungeon run is going to be Hoban Washburn, Caitlin Stark, and I'm sort of torn on the last round. I'm thinking probably Caitlin, Rita Morgan, and you know, I'm leaning towards taking the man himself, Shane, into the dungeon. The problem is, before we could do that, we need all sorts of cash and skills. Wait, you have no skills, Shane? None. All of your skills are locked? Oh, sweet love of God, dude. It's gonna cost $8 trillion to make you not shit. We're gonna need just an unspeakable fortune to haul you out of the state that you're in. Is there anybody else we could get? Somebody better, somebody different, somebody less shitty? I don't want to take a leper into the Darkest Dungeon at pretty much any point, because when it comes to single target high damage, lepers are not great. The self-heal, self-stress relief of the leper is relatively nice. They are very vulnerable to bleeds, though, and bleeds are an intrinsic and dangerous part of that fight. Franklin, Brody, Everdeen, and Crawley, these guys are going not into Layer 2 of the dungeon, but we've got them set aside for Layer 3. All of them are afflicted, by the way, which I would like to get rid of. Do we still have a chance to fight the Shrieker, by the way? We do. Well, we're going to want to do that. I hate... Okay. We want to fight the Shrieker. Those guys are still the right party for the job. They really are. Which means we've got to do... This is going to cost $1 billion trillion. We got to do stress relief for these guys, and we got to do it in the cheapest fashion possible. All right, is there anything you won't do? You are faithless, so you won't pray or flagellate. How do you feel about drinking? You feel like it's a pretty good idea. Well, go get your drink on. Everdeen, what won't you do? Necromania, flu, claustrophobia. There's really nothing you won't do. How about you, Crawley? Got any particular quirks? Corvid's curiosity. Weak grip on life. You're a witness. You will not take effect. Okay, so you don't give a shit about prayer activity, and you're also sickly. And when did you come down with lethargy? You having lethargy is actually not a bad thing. I kind of like that. We're going to send you to the gambling hall, I guess. Franklin, you got any quirks? You're a bad gambler. Doesn't say you will only gamble, so that just means we'll have you not do it. Mercurial, a ruminator. You're a ruminator, so that means you like to probably pray and or meditate. Let's have you do some of that. Franklin, go meditate in the cloister. And that just leaves Primrose Everdeen, who really doesn't care what she does, and praying is the second cheapest thing, so get your ass in there and do that. Show me the plan, give me the strength I require. Well, there goes all the money we made on this mission, so what are we going to do next mission? Probably take the team we just took back into the hoary depths, although, you know, Creeping Cough has got... Quint is... We can't have him with Creeping Cough. That's got to go. It's too big of a penalty, and Leto Atreides could fill in for Bartholomew Quint in a pinch. He still works in that particular team setup. We take Nell, Adriana, Jay, and Leto Atreides. Still works. We also want to look and see any potentially positive new recruits. Oh, really tempted by a Plague Doctor. You know what? I'm actually taking this Plague Doctor. I'm beyond tempted. You're on board. We could use... Yeah, I'm comfortable with this. We can use another Plague Doctor. Don't know exactly what we're going to do with these guys yet, but we'll find a way. What I'd like to do is get them some kind of heavy frontline hitter. Do they need a frontline hitter? Yeah, they kind of do, but they also sort of need a healer, and they wouldn't have one. Frontline hitter who is also a healer probably doesn't exist. Sybil Branson can heal a little bit. These guys we could use to kill downtime, effectively, is what I'm thinking. Like, if we need to do stress relief, you know, sort of like we're doing right now, we could use this team here with Antiquarian on board just to go help us get a little extra cash and ducats down in the dungeon. Since they've changed the loot tables and loot spawns, though, Antiquarians used to sort of be a necessary evil. These days, they sort of feel like an extraneous evil, in which case you can just not ever take one and not really be out much. An extraneous evil is an evil that, you know, unnecessary evil, not a good thing. An extraneous evil, you could just be like, oh, you know, we don't need it. It's fine. We'll just not be evil then. Let's just go ahead and be virtuous. We should also just go ahead and be done with this episode because I'm sort of just babbling. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see Bartholomew Quint take the crew out and try and catch a really big fish again in the future, I consider subscribing as well. New episodes of Darkest Dungeon every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, I'm going to go, I don't know, maybe have a swordfish sandwich. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Jaws was not a swordfish, I'm aware. It's just, you know, they taste good after you grill them. Sandwich press.